man is back.
Oh, okay, boys. Oh my gosh, the man got that stuff. This is a 5 out of freaking 5.
It is beat making time.
Next week is E3 week. My album comes out next week.
I have the leopard. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But look at that, my God.
This is your boy. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash the True Inferno. Back at it with another Call of Duty Black Ops 7 commentary video gameplay for you guys. This is a funny story. This is a funny story. Some of you guys may not find this funny, rather. And if you're one of those people, then you've been cheap as heck for like the past, what, 2, 3, 4, 5 years or so? Because I find this to be hilarious. I find this to be very hilarious. And no, I'm not rich. But I still nevertheless find this to be very hilarious. So what's going on here? Obviously, you read the title of this video, so you have a good idea of what's going on. But you probably want a better understanding. So let me set the stage for you guys real quick. This current generation of gaming, console gaming to be more exact, to be more specific rather, has been terrible. There have been some shining lights in the form of the Switch and the Switch 2, and of course the Steam Decks and stuff like that. But when it comes to the but to the home console that you play connected to your TV, like the Switch or Switch 2, you know, potentially, if you play it that way. But I'm really referring to the Xbox Series X and S and the PlayStation 5, the PlayStation 5 Slim, the PlayStation 5 Digital Edition, and the PlayStation 5 Pro. That generation has been bad. And the number one culprit why that generation has been bad is because there has been people who, for whatever reason, have not yet gotten any of these consoles and has stuck with the previous generation consoles. So we're talking the Xbox, what is it? Xbox One? I think that was the one that came out before the Series X and S. I don't remember what it is. I think it's the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. So because of that, people have been like pretty much begging and complaining to keep making games for previous generation consoles as opposed to making games solely for the current generation consoles. But here's the thing that they fail to realize. When you do that, developers are going to get lazy because you're asking the developers to basically create two different games. One game where the graphics are at its maximum for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the like, and another game where the graphics are at the maximum for the PlayStation 5, and the Xbox Series X and S, and the PlayStation 5 Slim, and the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now you're probably wondering what you're talking about. Aren't they the same game? Well, yeah, they're the same game in terms of like what the game is and the story and how you play it, but it's all about how it looks and how it operates. So the developers are not going to create two different versions of the same game from scratch. Instead, what they're going to do is be lazy and create a version that works on the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5. A version that works for the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X and S. But by doing that, they are pretty much lowering the performance of the game, the graphics of the game, the look of the game. They are actually doing that. So that's the problem with that. Meaning the graphics and how the game's supposed to look on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S and the PlayStation 5 Slim, the PlayStation 5 Digital Edition, and the PlayStation 5 Pro, how the game's supposed to look, they can't look like that because the game also has to be on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, which are the inferior consoles. So that's why you got guys like the Black Hokage complaining about the PlayStation 4 fanboys and the Xbox One fanboys, but he really don't do that. I don't know unless I missed something. I don't know why he neglect those. Maybe because they're irrelevant, but nevertheless, that's where we at right now. Well, here's where things got funny. So, little under 2 months ago, there was a tweet that was sent out by Zuby_Tech, and Zuby_Tech in this tweet said the following: PlayStation, or to be more exact, Sony, is sending from what? That grammar is actually off. That must say PlayStation is sending from PlayStation messages to PlayStation 4 users to upgrade to PlayStation 5. Now, here's what the actual message says. So basically, basically what they're trying to say is this. Sony is sending PlayStation 4 players messages within their system. So here's what the message says. From PlayStation, you played a good game in 2025. So this was on January the 20th when this person received this message, by the way. And it said the following. Whether you're catching up with hits from the 2005 like Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Arc Raiders, and Ghost of Yote, or getting ready for the most anticipated games in 2026, including Star Wars, which I don't know if that's going to be good or not, but I'll hold my judgment to see what other people say. 007 First Light, Neo 3, and so much more. Now's the perfect time to upgrade to a PlayStation 5 console. Scan the QR code, and there's a QR code in that message, to see the latest deals on PlayStation 5 consoles. So, long story short, let me summarize this real quick. That's what the message says. Like, if you're on the PlayStation 4, you will receive an actual message from Sony, from PlayStation, saying that. I'm looking at the picture. So, let me translate this. It basically says, hey, broke boy, it's been about 5, 6, 7 years since the PlayStation 5 came out. You need to stop playing the PlayStation 4 and upgrade to a PlayStation 5. That's basically what this message is saying. And to be perfectly honest, you should have done that 2 years ago. At least 2 years ago. Now it's too late. Now I would say don't get a PlayStation 5 at all. I don't care what version it is. Do not get a PlayStation 5 at all. Because one, they raised the prices of it because of tariffs, even though they won't say that, but they raised the price because of tariffs, even though Sony needs to develop a backbone like Nintendo did and is suing the U.S. government because of that. So, yeah, Sony needs to do that. But then again, they can look at it as an excuse to raise prices. So that's number one. Number two, and I talked about this one, or I talked about both reasons already. But number two, out in Europe, after they raised their prices for the PlayStation 5, they lowered the amount of memory you could get on the PlayStation. So they raised the price at first and then lowered the amount of memory you can get. Do you not comprehend how stupid that is? Do you not comprehend the fact that they are ripping you off now at this point? And then number three, and I found out about this a few days ago. This could be a story in itself. And that is the fact that now what Sony wants to do, or PlayStation, if you want to call them that, what PlayStation wants to do is they want to do an A/B system. What does that mean? That means person A, who lives in Wisconsin, can get this game for $20, but person B, who lives in Maryland, can get the same game for $15. Yeah, A/B pricing. Yeah, they're doing that now. And they're not telling people that. Like Microsoft did that with the Xbox, but at least they're telling people. But Sony, they ain't telling people that at all. So now they're in the habit of doing that. So now at this point, I'm like, yo, it's too late to get a PlayStation 5. Don't get a PlayStation 5. Especially what I said, knowing that a PlayStation 6 is coming out, knowing that Sony and PlayStation are now ripping off customers. They ripping people off now. So now it's like, nah, Sony, PlayStation, they fell off. They really, really fell off. So your moment to get a PlayStation 5 was at least 2 years ago. Now that time has passed and it's too late. Y'all stuck with your PS4s, and the way I see it, there's no more new games coming for the PlayStation 4. So y'all gotta wait for the PlayStation 6 to come out, or y'all need to switch. Y'all need to switch on over to the Switch 2, ironically enough, or go to console gaming. Not console gaming, PC gaming. And I understand there's another, and this could be a story in itself as well. There's another story out there basically saying that PlayStation is done making games for PC. But I don't care. Switch on over to PC. Switch on over to the Switch 2, really. Before those prices go up, by the way. And I don't know if I switch on over to the Xbox because Xbox fell off too. Now in the sense of they're trying to rip people off, even though they raised their prices twice, and I talked about that too. But they still fell off nevertheless. So at this point, you either need to get a Switch 2, a Steam Deck, or go straight to PC. Because outside of the Switch 2, console gaming is at a very, very bad state right now. And the opportunity to still mess around with console gaming passed you by about 2 years ago. Because now it's at an all-time worst. And I don't know when or if it's even going to get better. So if y'all trying to play on your consoles, it's too late now. If you trying to get a PS5 or any kind, it's too late now, bro. It's way too late. So I'm going to call it a wrap now. And with all that said, y'all know what this is. This boy New J Gatsby, a.k.a. New Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all. And I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.
Here comes